Right, hello guys, welcome to the Supernova workshop. If you have joined our yesterday's workshop, which was a new XD workshop, in case that you missed it, but yeah, it's organized by us, Sunway Tech Hub. Today, yep, if you're interested in us, please make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, today it's still gonna be the same presenter, which is Yo and Bobo over there. Can't see them yet, but they're definitely here and actually in bigger space. Yeah, another briefing for Sunway Talk, whoever was not in the yesterday's session. Yeah, we're just this one community of tech enthusiasts, yeah, which serves to bridge the gap between tech education, tech entrepreneurship, and tech industry. And yeah, the things we do is essentially workshops like these, like Adobe XD, Figma, or Supernova like this one. So, and outside workshops, we do talks as well as meetups. So we have this like bi-weekly meetup that's focused on gaming sharing and learning between all the tech enthusiasts. So yeah, today's workshop, as mentioned, will be the Supernova workshop. Yeah, I think it's okay now to pass it to Yo. Right, just give him a warm welcome.
Hello everyone. So today I'll be your host again. So those of you who knew that I was the host for yesterday's workshop with Google, you all maybe should know me. But if those of you who didn't know who am I, I'm Yo. So basically I'm a Sunway University student, which is I'm from Sunway Tech Club, and I'm going to give you a workshop about introduction to design support sustainability, basically designed to code using Supernova. And it's a workshop regarding mobile app development. So in this workshop, the overview that you are about to learn is basically you know what are mobile apps and what mobile app types exist today, mobile app development current trends, how Supernova makes life easier, and the benefits of Supernova and how it is making easier. So, what are mobile apps? Initially, a mobile application is a software application designed to run on smartphones, tablet computers, and other mobile devices. Users normally use smartphones typically to check news, weather, email, or their social networks. And they have a choice between the mobile web version or a specially created mobile app. So there are three types of mobile apps. So normally you know there are native, hybrid, and web apps, or known as progressive web apps. So what is a native app? Normally, native apps are programmed using Swift, Objective-C on iOS, or using Java Kotlin on Android devices. Whereas hybrid is basically, you can say, cross-platform technology, which is a mix between two types of mobile applications. So normally based on web programming languages like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Dart, and React.js. So, but the benefit of this is that you only need to build once to run on your Android and iOS. So, but also it's sometimes very hard to debug. Example, if you're using React Native, cross-platform usually it's harder to debug, whereas compared to native app development. And the third one would be web apps. So web apps are basically web-based, where you use your browser, your handphone, and it runs in your browser. So it can have native features based on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So example of those frameworks are like React, Vue, and Angular, and etc. So in mobile app development, the current trends today exist as follows. But native, you usually have Android and iOS, while as hybrid, you have examples like Ionic, React Native, Vue Native, Flutter, Native Script, Xamarin, and more. There are other hybrid development technologies also, but these are to just name a few. So hybrid apps are typically easier and faster to develop than native apps, whereas they also require less maintenance. However, hybrid apps cost more than native apps. On the other hand, the speed of your hybrid app will depend completely on the speed of your user browser. So this means hybrid apps will almost never run as fast as a native app runs. So if you use cross-platform, your app is deemed to be faster than your native application. So regardless, how to make mobile app development easier? So as you know, today is very difficult to code from scratch, your front end code from scratch. So basically what I'm about to introduce you is a tool called Supernova. So what does Supernova do? Basically, it's a design to code platform. So here is the some of the installation processes that you might want to follow. So initially, if you already have joined the Adobe XD workshop, you should have Adobe XD install on your PC or Mac or whatever. You need to install your Supernova. First thing, what you need to do is you need to go to the Supernova website. You can just go to this link. You can go to your Supernova website in this link, and you can download Xcode from your Apple's App Store. Because later we're going to run an iOS application. Yeah. So basically, what is Supernova? It is the world's first design code platform. It's a design support tool for mobile application which converts any mobile design to native applications. And it is basically a tool to accelerate your app development workflow process for mobile designers and developers. So this is basically how Supernova makes life easier. It brings mobile apps to life in by minutes by converting Sketch or an Adobe XD designs into native front-end code for Flutter, iOS, Android, and React Native. This allows users, developers, and teams to combine advanced support for enterprise teams and a code designer-based system manager that closes the gap between design and code. So basically, you can kiss all those inconsistencies and inefficiencies goodbye. So the benefits of Supernova and on how it's making life easier. So these are four of the benefits that I've deemed. So no more handoffs. So production ready code generated in real time as you prototype so that your app's design and code are always in sync. This allows you to export your final product within a click of a button, eliminating lengthy handoffs entirely. Also, you have no more misplaced pixels. So all design elements are backed by native components so that you're creating more than a hi-fi prototype. So you're technically actually building an actual UI. So on the next one is that there'll be no more duplicated work. So development picks up exactly where design is left off rather than coding wireframes, animations, and transitions from scratch. So basically you get a clean production ready and flexible code for iOS, Android, React Native, and Flutter. And moreover, it's no more boring and tedious tasks. In a matter of seconds, because in a matter of seconds, you the creation of layouts or export of assets, localizations, animations, navigation flows, and more cross stuff are pre-done for you by Supernova. So basically, this is just for your general info. If you have gone to the Supernova website, this is basically the pricing plans. So initially, this was probably a while ago. I think they might have changed or it might still be the same. I'm not sure. But initially, $0 is for free. You get Supernova Studio, prototyping suite, and you get to export to Flutter. So now I'm going to start playing with Supernova for you. So basically, okay, just hold on. Okay, so this is Supernova Studio. So basically, I'm going to import a sketch or an XD file. So basically, I will use the yesterday's XD file if you attended the workshop. So if you can just follow my GitHub repo here, just hold on. Let me send it to you. here. So this is the GitHub repo. So if you open it up, you will see these are the files. Basically, you might want to download if you want to follow me throughout this workshop. So you can download. Just click the code button and download it as a zip. We will be using the skins XD file for this. So now I will import. Where did I put that file? Yeah, here. We'll import this file. It's called skins. So I'm going to choose a number of designs for iOS, and yeah, so I'm going to import now. So as you can see, these are your designs that has been imported into your Supernova. These, if you attended yesterday's workshop, these are actually the designs made yesterday during the Adobe XD workshop by Pupu. So basically how it works, I will start from the left side, where there are actually three things over here. Here you have your screens, basically is your artboards and your components. So each screen have your own component. So as you know, if you attended yesterday's Adobe XD workshop, each type of your assets and your component, each thing when you design your art, your application, each component is actually derived from your assets. So yeah, and these are the assets that have been converted from Adobe XD into Supernova. So this will be the left side, and if you move on to the right side, you can preview the design screens over here. So here you can see the preview, you touch ID verification, you can see, and then you can set which one would be your initial screen. So the one that we're going to start as your initial screen obviously will be this one. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this off, because this is not going to be our initial screen. So this is our initial screen. So what it means is that it will starts, your workflow starts from here. So so now I bring you here to the native. Here is that this part is actually the prototyping part, while at this point you actually focus on one screen. So okay, if you can look over here, these are three icons. Basically, this is the emulator, a preview emulator that allows you to view the components of your application. And on top of this board, you can look at this code preview over here that allows you to actually view the code for this particular screen. So basically, this is a very good feature for you lah. So if because your designs have been converted to code, and then you can actually like just, if you want to, if you don't have to code everything, you can just like copy paste it into your design if you want to. So yeah, that's the beautiful. And this is actually like an update feature, like Toggle hot reload. Basically, if you're into development phases, a hot reload is like when you reload on top of this, it allows you to update the previous versions on top of that. Yeah. So this is basically how it prototype. So now when they converted it to Supernova, initially everything is still an image lah. So what you need to do is you need to change the component types depending on how you want it to be in a mobile application. So let's say if we would like to change this, obviously these two are buttons, right? So maybe we want to change this to a button. So now the component type basically is a view. So what we can do is we can change it to button. There are actually many different types of components that you can explore here, like table view, collection view, web view, map view, search bar, and etc. There are also sliders. Yeah, so you can explore all this and you can use. So right now that's actually a button. So we're going to use that as a button. What happened? Okay. Okay, so that's going to be a button. So Okay, yeah. So now initially now this component is actually converted into a button. So now its current state is a default. So yeah. So I'm going to change this also into a button. So as you can see, they're both now static, right? So if let's say if we go back to the prototyping tool, we can actually drag with the push icon whatever we want to deem our task to. So basically it's like prototyping. So we get to from the welcome page, we can, let's say we're going to prototype to the phone number page. And also for, yeah. So let's say we can test that out and see. So yeah, as you can see also at the phone emulator, right, that the Supernova gives you, you can actually view custom devices. So basically, if you want to use your iPhone, your Pixel, whatever, you can use these different emulators to test your production ready design. So I just going to use a simple iPhone now. Maybe iPhone 8. This is better. Okay, so you can view it over here basically. Sorry. I need to make this smaller. It's too big because I cannot click that. Okay, so basically I prototyped it there to another screen, right? So basically once you prototype as a button, now it moves exactly like a button. So yeah, so now I'm going to just do a few more variations for you all to have a look. So let's say push. Yeah, now we go to this screen. I will convert this also to another button because it's a button. And then maybe go to next screen. Yeah, this is this can be another button. Now it's image view to button. Okay, so I've converted all of each component of different artboards into buttons already. So now we go to the prototype section. So where we can prototype everything. So let's say we push from this component. So basically you move to this artboard. We can push it to another artboard by also prototyping again. Yeah, I think I haven't labeled. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so also initially you can actually like move your designs around so that when you want to prototype, it's actually easier for you to move around your design, prototype your design to which artboard that you would like to do. So hold on, let's stop this one. Not set this component because it's still static. Yes.
There's a question that's asking what's the difference between push and now.
Hold on. Where is that question? Okay. Who was it by? Why oh, between push and the model with. So basically when you push with, right, you're pushing your design from design A to B, while as model if is you're modeling from basically almost the same thing, but initially when you put it in different terms, you're modeling from A to B, while as push is you push that button to B. Do you get the meaning? Okay. So now we go back to what was I doing? Oh yeah, okay. So I converted that to a button already. So basically now we can push again. We signed it. So now I've actually like finished the prototype for this particular application. So now right, we'll just test it out loud to see how it looks like. So basically, no, I want to start from there. Yeah, we'll start from here. So basically, this will be how it works. So oh no, I haven't converted this. Oh, it was continue button, I think. Which one is this? Oh, this. Button. This is a button, right? This is a button. Yeah. Let me just delete this. Maybe local. Yeah, it should work now. I think it should work now. So let's say we go back this to the simulator. We should actually. Oh, that's weird. I think I joined the wrong. I prototyped it to join the prototype to the wrong app. Okay, just let me edit a bit. Okay. Oh, I'm not pushing anything. Wait, I am on. Push with continue. Never mind. Let me just check. Oh, it's still an image view. Wait, I thought I changed this. Okay. It's continue the view. Yeah. Button. Buttons. Yeah. This rectangle. This. Yeah, let's try. Yeah, okay, so sign up. Yeah. Okay. So now basically now we are done already. Done prototyping already. So this is actually how it works, how you prototype your application. So now if you just go through, you see each component that I converted to a button initially transition from A to B, artboard A to B. Yeah. So, but now since we're done with prototyping, basically you know the workflow of your application. So now you want to know the best feature about Supernova, right? So basically it's you can actually export your code. So now let's try exporting our design for iOS, and you can have a look that it works. So you can export your designs into code. So I will create a new folder and name this and export here. Okay. So basically now your code has been exported into this file. So basically this is your Xcode file where your iOS application is built, your front end code for iOS application is built. So you would want to click this and just wait for Xcode to open up first. Yeah, okay. So let it load for a while. Also, you might want to open your simulator. If you all don't have this, basically you can just search for your simulator and just enter. Yeah. So now I also open my simulator where we can run our application, our exported codes application. This will take a while for it to boot up. So we need to wait for our emulator to boot up first. So basically now, while waiting for that, you can have a look at the files that have been given to you. Basically, you have your production app, your skins, your classes, your app, your Swift code. It's loading. Just wait for a while. Yeah, so basically the source comes from Supernova. So now you have your code over here, which is exported by Supernova, and you have your resources over here, along with your supporting files. Yeah, okay, so now the emulator has been booted up. So now let's try running this application. So, so let build the skin, this skin iOS application build first, and just hold on while the emulator processes it. Okay, so now as you can see, the build has been succeeded. Yeah, and this is your skins app. Okay. Just a while, takes a while to load. I think it's crashed. Just hold on a sec. Let me retry running that again. Okay. Open the emulator again and rerun. Yeah, this is actually one of the cons of Supernova. So it's actually heavy on your PC. So technically, you need a lot of RAM if you're a Windows user. And also in Mac, you will, depending on your processing power, you will take it take some time, basically. What's wrong with this? Yeah. So okay, now that took a while. So basically, now you have your exported design, and it is over here. So basically, what you have prototyped earlier, now you can actually view. You click your sign in, and initially you can just go through, just through your application. Yeah. So this is the benefit of Supernova. It allows you to prototype, and after you import your design from import your design, prototype, and then after that export your code into natively. So I also created not me, basically Pupula. He created another exportation using the Flutter actually. So now I will share it to that part so you can have a view on how it looks like for Flutter. So basically, it's the same thing also, like when you export, but you just export to Flutter only in Supernova. So you can see here, right, this is skins. Just click the app, the current platform, if you want to switch to, so you can switch to Flutter, iOS, and etc. So now I've switched to Flutter basically now. So just now I'm in iOS. So and there are Android and React Native. So now I would just pass down to Pupu to demo to you how you to once exported into Flutter, how you can run the application. So,
All right. All right. Thanks, Yo, for introducing me. So, one of the reason why I want to like switch the laptop and another presenter is because like that MacBook is quite old, and if you want to have like the Xcode is running, another emulator is running, and also running an Android Studio, there will be like we tried before the laptop basically crashed. So anyway, so we're gonna start with the Flutters. So Flutter, if you don't know Flutters, you can go ahead and read it online. But basically, like after you have exported, this is what you are going to see. So you have your main.dart and going to see your welcome.widgets. So right now, I'm gonna hit the run buttons to make it to to uh, to running it on my emulators right here. So while waiting for it, right? So you can see, right? The Supernova actually like had generated all of these things for you. Like it has a very nice containers and child columns, containers, columns, containers. So and it's very like actually it's quite good as in like all the layouts and all the selections of the components they choose is is quite good lah. So although you can have like a little modifications, but by default itself, this is good enough. All right. So yeah. So right now, right, you can see that it's actually like all the margin is quite off, right? So what we can do is that I can simply go and adjust my margin, save it, and you can see you can adjust that. So when going for like a production, you definitely don't want to just export and directly use. You definitely have to do a little bit of adjustment to ensure that it works every time. So I'm gonna hit the signups, and you can see all these things are like all the margins are off, right? So that's when you maybe you have to touch up a bit of the values here and there, and at the end you're gonna get like a instance kind of a output lah. So the I don't think like this personally, I don't think like you can just use it and without any modifications and deploy it online. It's not that yet, but personally for my preferences on the data, right, it's already good enough like for a fast prototyping. So yeah, that's basically how we can work it on the Flutter part. So I'm gonna pass this back to Yo, so that I don't take too much time.
yeah, so pretty much that's it. So this is basically how you can convert your design to code using Flutter and iOS, which you can see there are Android and React Native also. But too bad we only have two PCs here, so we only can show two different applications that can be prototyped over here. Because as Pupu also said, if we on like so many emulators and run so many editors, we definitely will crash. And this MacBook is actually very old. Yeah, so now we move to Q&A. So basically, you can ask us any question. You can ask me and Pupu any question. Yeah, so you can hit us with your questions.
So Kaifeng did ask like questions like, can you show which component type to use to make the numpad appear for users and make the loading image move?
Okay. You which component type to use to make the numpad appear. So let me go back to Supernova phase. Let me see. So basically, you're talking about numpad, right? This particular numpad, right? Because this design when we created in Adobe XD, we only created the flow because when you're prototyping, it's transitioning from A to B. So basically, this design is you cannot do that type of prototyping over here unless you created the artboard for that. So basically, what normally how that will work is you have to create an artboard separately without the num code and then only show with the num code. Do you get the meaning, Kai Hong? Okay. So basically, it's also like it's design lah. You whatever you put in your UI, you have to plan out essentially, and if you are not going to code everything from scratch. So this is particularly what you need to do. Any other questions? Okay.
Okay, so I also think that just like some advices from Flutter points of view, when you export it, right, because just now you can see that you actually use an edge inset, and it's actually kind of hard coded into for the flex layout. No, for the layout, it's kind of like hard coded into the Flutter codes. So my suggestion is that for all this like positioning, you should be using you should be using the flex instead, which is what is it called? The flex components in Flutters. It's called, I forgot. But anyways, so you're gonna use that better. It's actually better than like hard coded positioning in the Flutter code generated. Yeah, that's just like some kind of advices. So I think is there any question anymore? Okay, so why is there's a question? Why is the main what is the
Main difference between Xcode and this platform. Okay, Xcode is basically a tool for you to develop using Swift. You basically developing iOS applications. Whereas Supernova is just basically transitioning from design to code. It converts your design to code. That's all. It's not an editor. Do you get the meaning, Sean?
Yeah, basically Xcode is for you to write code, but Supernova is for you to
Yeah, it's like
convert your
Adobe XD, but the main feature about Supernova is you can actually view the code, and it also builds the grader for you. I don't think Adobe XD builds the grader for you. It gives you the code. You can get the code using plugins, but it's only for each component. So imagine if you export all your code there, then you have to view and process everything. All the files are basically inconsistent. Whereas Supernova, it creates a grader for you, so you actually know where your files are and where are your codes at.
I think you haven't covered like some fun fact about Supernova, right? Is that under hood of each of the Supernova components is actually an image. So each image itself is actually coming from.
So, sorry, I think it.
So it was because I think Supernova is actually I think they just released like a announcement that they have these things. So each of the components that they exported, right, is actually an image, and this image is originated from the Supernova server. So so you can actually edit it online, and then you can see the instant changes on your mobile app, because essentially everything under hood is an image.
Yeah. Because basically when you prototype your design, everything is in image basically in view form. So when you export, import, bring it to Supernova, it's still in image. So what you need to do is actually convert it into the desired layout that you want. So as you can see earlier, right, there were buttons, view maps, those are just to name a few that Supernova gives. Supernova, so actually, basically, I think it's still new and they're still developing, but I think it's a good tool to start using. Basically, more to like content management type of apps if you want to build. Let's say, example, like you want to build a study app. This will be a great tool to use. It will make your front end much easier. So because basically, studying apps, if you want to go to like you want to study chemistry, example, you build your app and you have a layout called chemistry in the button. So you click chemistry and then you go and study chemistry. Then after that, you want to transition from another layout. So basically, it shows you everything on the application.
Yeah, and it's image somewhere. So which means like if it's an image, right, then at the end, like if you want to update your say your buttons, you want to have a different feeling for your buttons, you can just like in your app you can just like fetch another image from the servers and then replace the original image, and you have your app instantly uploaded. So it's sort of like it becomes like a web development already, so that whenever the developer change something, they can see the instant changes at the front end. So you will never need to like just updating a buttons, then you have to upload it again in the Google Play stores,
Yes.
and then the user have to update it again, everything like that. So
Yeah.
using Supernova itself, they enable this that you can develop your mobile app just like a website that you can see the instant changes. I think that's something that is really worth to cover.
And, yeah, like,
But wait, someone like, yeah, we are quite suffering from this.
yeah.
I mean, like back to normal, as in like having physical workshops. Actually, that is more to the SOP kind of thing. So we cannot have a lot of physical events, and the amount of participants we can have in each of the workshop is quite limited.
Yes.
I think like maximum for this environment is like 10 or 20 people. So yeah, just like that.
I actually like this pandemic.
Whoa, that's scary. I cannot say like that. Okay,
Just joking.
I have to cut this out after. Okay, so I think if there is no much any questions anymore from the floor, then I think we can probably sum up this workshop. So thank you everyone for joining. So we have another events coming out as well, annual general meetings. It's essentially like an events for us to announce our new committees, our new head of marketing, say, new presidents. So it's going to be happening on 31st of July, 2020, and at 5 o'clock. It's going to be online as well. So the registration form is in our Facebook page. So feel free to check it out and sign up too. And we have another very cool events coming up. We have our design hackathon. Yay. So we have, it's actually the first design hackathon. So essentially, we're trying to have like a mini hackathon that you can that you can design, and that lets you design and at the top with the topic of like building a merchandise store for STC. So we and also like having like a design for the online learning portal for STC. So right now, because there are definitely prizes going on, the first prize will win like a STC merchandise. Like Frankie, can you get me that little trophy? Yeah, just that's like little trophies. And other than the little trophy, and with your custom name printed on this, so you're gonna get like a STC kind of like little trophy, 3D printed, and your name will be printed on it. And secondly, you will get your t-shirts, STC t-shirts for free, and also your stickers, and also get a chance to develop out the platform with us as well. So that's for the first prize. The second prize is also that you also get like a little trophies and your STC t-shirts and the stickers. And the third prize, you'll only get like the t-shirts and the stickers. So what is the price of joining, right? The price is free. So this hackathon doesn't charge you anything. It's a free online hackathon. So we invited Darren Tan to as our judges for this hackathon. So do feel free to scan the QR code and go to the bit.ly links to sign up. Spread to your friends as well. So I think that's it. Thank you for joining this event and having this session with us. Do follow us on our social medias on Facebook, Instagram. We have our GitHub as well, LinkedIn, Telegram, and emails. So yeah. So this is a feedback form. So if you if oh, all right, thanks. So please fill it up so that we know how we can improve further, and do let us know what kind of events you want in the future as well. So we can have more similar kind of events or not. Okay, sure. Thank you very much. See you in the. Sorry.
Someone asked a question.
Oh, someone asked questions.
Yeah.
Uh, questions? Just so I can't really open the files on Windows. Oh yeah, so Supernova currently only support on Mac OS.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, if you go to Supernova's website, under their documentation, initially they said that Supernova's Windows version would be available in the mid of this year, but right until today, they still have not
Yeah.
released the Windows version yet.
They
Yeah.
say they're gonna have it.
Probably it's because of this pandemic, lah. I assume. Yeah. I think you want to go. Yeah.
Windows. Looking for Windows.
Sure.
Looking for Windows support. But unfortunately, there is no Windows support. It's only available for Mac OS. But there are like some or other solutions that you can have. Like maybe you can spin out a virtual machines with the Mac OS image, or you can use the macincloud.com to have like a Mac OS in the cloud. So it's a paid services. But unfortunately, like Supernova haven't rolled out their Windows and Linux support yet.
Yeah. So basically, you just keep it to Note first. As sooner or later, when they release more features, I know they will release a few more features in the future, because it's still considered in the development and more or less still new. So just wait for a while.
Okay, so I think that's it. Thank you everyone for joining. See you guys in the next sessions. Bye bye.